Hey, welcome back. I'm Dr. Christine Bradstreet of Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. I run this channel here on YouTube as well as a sister publication on Medium. And the purpose of the publication and this channel is to help you live your happiest, healthiest life. And a very large section of content here is based on neuroplastic pain, in other words, the mind-body connection, and how you can learn to rewire your brain to have less pain and fewer symptoms. So welcome. Chances are if you're here, you've had weeks, months, or years, maybe even a lifetime of chronic pain and chronic nuisance symptoms. Now, don't let the word pain fool you. Maybe you don't have pain, but maybe you have a functional issue like migraine headaches or irritable bowel syndrome, food sensitivities, skin disorders. These things also are related to neuroplastic pain and neuroplastic conditions. Here's today's topic. Would you take health advice or life advice from a 4-year-old? Chances are the answer is no. So in just a second, we're going to get into why that's related to chronic pain and chronic symptoms. So again, I'm Dr. Christine Bradstreet. I'm a retired chiropractor. So for decades, I helped people who were in pain and with chronic symptoms by working on their physical bodies, but also by addressing mindset, until I studied more and more the most modern data in science that is proving that chronic pain and chronic functional symptoms do not come from the body. They come from how the brain has become wired over your lifetime. So that is why pain medication rarely helps chronic pain. That is why physical modalities like chiropractic, massage, stretching, yoga, physical therapy have very limited results in resolving chronic pain. It's because the problem was created in the mind through the brain's wiring, and that's where we are going to find the answer. And that is where we're going to find the resolution of the problem. It's going to be found by rewiring the brain. And the good news is the brain is what we call neuroplastic. That means it's able to change. So you're in the right place. Going back to the topic today, would you take health or life advice from a 4-year-old? Of course we would not. That's what's happening when we experience chronic pain or chronic functional symptoms that are the result of a neural circuit. So by the time we're 4 to 6 years old, a lot of these things have been wired into our minds. By the time we're 4 to 6 years old, we have decided how safe or unsafe the world is. We have decided what we think about ourselves. We have decided our role in our families, in our society. We have decided our level of comfort by this young age. Now, that does not mean that you actually felt chronic pain or had these chronic symptoms by the time you were 4 or 6 years old. Some people did. Some people had functional symptoms at that young of an age. But for many other people, their symptoms didn't start until adolescence or teenage years or adult years. But the foundation got laid by the time you were 4 to 6 years old. So just a quick refresher, and if you need to go back to earlier videos to get a better understanding, certainly do this. But just a quick reminder, chronic pain and chronic functional symptoms are the result of the body misinterpreting things in the environment externally as well as our internal environment. The brain is misinterpreting some of these messages as danger signals when really they are not dangerous. And the brain is designed to keep you safe, to keep you alive. That's basically its role. Its role is to keep you alive. So the brain is going to do whatever it has to do, whatever it deems it has to do to keep you safe and keep you alive. So the problem occurs because the brain is misinterpreting some signals as dangerous, and then it's getting a little too overzealous, a little too overactive, in trying to protect you, trying to keep you safe. And that is why we can reach a point where something that would be normally sensed as nothing more than a minor irritation, your brain can turn it into full-blown pain. Or if the brain senses you are in danger in some way, it can create pain in the body to make you suddenly stop doing something. And then also, our human behaviors feed into this cycle and make the loop stronger. We do things that begin to reinforce the loop, like things are our habits, like following specific exercise routines, following rigid diets, having this, then that sort of beliefs. If I do this, then that bad thing will happen, and we avoid those things. Or if I do this, this good thing will happen, and then we go toward those things. So little by little, we build a box that we are living in that is reinforcing the pain. Now, again, let me remind you, these patterns, the foundation for these patterns began to get laid down and were pretty well entrenched by the time you were 4 to 6 years old. So the reason why I ask, would you take health or life advice from a 4-year-old? Because that's what's happening as you fall into the patterns of doing some of the safety behaviors that you've developed over time. Safety behaviors meaning the things that you avoid to try to avoid your pain or your symptoms, and safety behaviors meaning the things that you do as an attempt to protect you against having pain or symptoms. And the other thing is the way you view the world, how safe it is, and the way you view your role in the world. These opinions got formed by the time you're age 4 to 6. And this is where you can shine a light on these things. So if you have perfectionistic tendencies, shine a light on that. That developed as a coping mechanism of your small child to help you feel safe, feel as if you would be accepted, feel as if you would be loved, feel as if you were good enough. People pleasing, same thing. An attitude developed at a very young age is a misguided attempt to help you feel safe in the world, feel accepted in the world, feel as if you are good enough, feel as if you will be taken care of. These are some more advanced techniques. This is also why it's so important in your recovery to touch base with this in small digestible chunks, a little bit each day with repetition. These opinions got laid down and wired in at such a young age, and most likely because of many little things that added up over time, although also sometimes one bigger thing that really made an impact can really lock in these beliefs. Like weight gain, it happened a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. These attitudes got wired in a little bit at a time. They got reinforced a little bit at a time. That's why it's so important for you to understand you're not going to just wash it all away all at once, but a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Can you examine some of these beliefs, question if you still would like to have them or not, and begin to replace them with the beliefs that you are choosing to have them today. An entrenched belief doesn't just fade away instantaneously. Like, have you ever driven down a dirt road that has some ruts in it from a muddy season? Your tires want to keep going back into the rut. There's a natural inclination to fall back into the rut, and then it takes effort. It takes consciousness, awareness, and effort into the steering wheel to pull out of the rut. Well, that's just what's going on inside your brain with your thoughts and your beliefs. The old ones created a rut. Your brain is going to naturally slip back into the rut very easily, but that does not mean that with practice and with attention you can't pull out of the rut and lay down a new positive path, a new positive rut, so that over time you slip more easily into to the thought structures that support health, support a pain-free and symptom-free life. Okay, I could create an entire hours worth of content or an entire course on this alone. But for starters, let this just plant some seeds that will take root, some seeds of awareness that these thoughts got laid down at a very young age. But with time and with effort and awareness, you can change them. All right, my friends, you are no longer taking health and life advice from a 4-year-old. You are beginning to take charge of your own health and well-being. And I'm very proud of you for doing that. It is not easy, but it can be done, and I believe that you will do it. Thanks for being here. Before you go, please hit that subscribe button. I love to chat with you, so please drop a note. Let me know how these techniques are working for you and where you are in your path. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.